What is happening, Toga Peeps? OldManTup coming at you today with our Week 3 team builder of Season 3 of the WBE. And today we are preparing to play Mr. Patty Trills and his Sin City Scizors. So let's take a look at the team we're building against. And he has a Lander Asterion, Ferrothorn, Incineroar, Rabombi, Drudagon, Golbat, Seismitoad, Primeape, Raichu, and Mega Alakazam. Now, taking a look at this team, he's got some interesting speed tiers. A couple Pokemon that poke their head above the 100 baseline, and that being Mega Alakazam, which is just super ultra speed at 150, Raichu at 110, and the Rabombi at a respectable 124, which really outclasses us speed-wise. But we have some things prepped this week that we can put in our back pocket. That Ferrothorn being a huge thorn in our side. Incineroar with the Intimidate being able to... The dual Intimidate core really makes it a little bit harder for Mega Charizard X to get going. But we've got some things planned, and I will be telling you about that. So we have Burninator, Trogdor, the Burninator of the Peasants, Mega Charizard X this week. And this Mega Charizard X, Dragon Dance 3 attacks, and a neutral attack Flare Blitz from this, after Stealth Rock damage, has, I think it's like a 50-50 roll to one-hit KO a minimum investment Lander Asterion. So if he's running an offensive Lander Asterion, and we Dragon Dance, and he switches in, and I have Stealth Rocks up, I have a chance to kill it with Flare Blitz. So keep that in your mind, because that was a calc that when I did it, I had to look at it a second time. Like, whoa. That is amazing. But we are running Jolly, not quite max speed. This is enough to keep pace with Primeape, I believe. If not Primeape, it's Lander Asterion, but I'm gonna guess Primeape. So that's what we got there. Max attack, the rest just sprinkled around to maximize efficiency. But we got Dragon Claw, Flare Blitz, and Earthquake. We need that combination for things like Incineroar, Lander Asterion, and the aforementioned Ferrothorn. The biggest thing stopping this from doing what it needs to do is that Seismitoad, just because that thing can take hits for days, and its Earthquake is no joke. But this week, bringing Dad Bod back with the Iapa Berry. This was a... I may change this item late game. I'm not a huge fan of 25% berries, but that may become leftovers. We'll see. That'll probably be a game time decision. Flip a coin and roll with it. But we have Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Toxic, and Defog. Know what you think of Tup. Ferrothorn comes in and just takes a big doo-doo on this, but we Volt Switch on it. We can Defog in its face. So the things Ferrothorn's going to do to us, we're going to be able to outspeed and get out before it does anything. It's probably just going to come and set up rocks or the Leech Seed. So, not super worried about that. But we definitely need this for things like Lander Asterion, Incineroar. This takes hits from his physical side extremely well. I mean, this takes hits from everything extremely well on his team, because his grass attacker is Ferrothorn. Now, granted, Mega Alakazam can run that Energy Ball and cheeky things like that, but this just does so much work against his team. Even if he's running like a gravity set, which he would need to if he wants to hit us with any of his Earthquakes, we can still work around it. So this will probably 90% of the chance be our lead Pokemon. So next, we are going to be going into the fan, named after a fan because I liked the recommendation of the name so much, and that is Hannah the Tyranitar. Running a Choppleberry this week, because it allows us to 1v1 Mega Alakazam. We can take a Focus Blast or the possible superpower from Landorus Syrian, and we can retaliate. We have Ice Beam, which, with the investment we have this week, we are a modest nature. No, we're not. We are a quiet nature because we don't want to lose that attack. Because we need that for Pursuit. I believe on the Switch, guaranteed one-hit KO on Mega Alakazam, if I'm not mistaken. But this will 100% of the time Ice Beam kill a max HP, no special defense invested Landorus Syrian. 100% of the time. So that's amazing. Fire Blast for that pesky Ferrothorn, which will most likely be what it will be going against. And the calc, I kept that one up because it was a percentage. Max HP, max special defense, level 50 Ferrothorn. With the sassy nature, we get almost a 73 to an 86% on our Fire Blast. So that'll be amazing. With just a little bit of chip damage on a Ferrothorn, we can pretty much one-shot it with a Fire Blast. So really looking forward to that because Ferrothorn, like I said, is just a pesky boy. Next, bringing back the Handsome Brothers for a return concert. And they're coming back in Sandforce. Pairing this up with the Tyranitar. Now, something we need to keep in mind is that Mega Alakazam can trace this ability. And while I don't see Mega Alakazam running any Steel, Ground, or Rock types, that is what this boosts, right? Yes. Steel, Rock, and Ground gives it a 30% multiplier. And one thing we have to keep in mind is that if he does trace this and Sandstorm is up, it gains immunity to Sandstorm, so we can't count on that weather damage. So that was a little thing that I had a question in the back of my head before the match. Well, yeah, before the match. We are before the match. Question I had in the back of my head as to whether or not that was how that worked, because Trace is just such a good ability. But that's what we got. Earthquake, Iron Head, Stone Edge, and Memento. Memento as a last-ditch effort, should we need it, to allow something to set up. Now, we got the keys to the kingdom. Leftovers, Prankster, Spikes, Magnet Rise, Dazzling Gleam, and Toxic. Now, a lot of things can come in and just kind of sit in the face of this. Leech Seed, Ferrothorn being one of them. All we can do is just spike up on it. But Prankster, Toxic, just because we need a good way to deal with his possible, where to go, Seismitoad switch in, and being able to Toxic it if he were to predict us to go for a T-Wave, because I guess I built up a reputation for using yellow magic frequently. But that's what we're doing. We got Toxic, Dazzling Gleam, Magnet Rise, and the Spikes. The Magnet Rise, I've used it enough times, and I've seen it used enough times. I don't know if I should say that I expect people to expect it to be brought. But, yeah. We got Spikes. Even though a lot of his scary things aren't going to take immediate damage to it, especially Alakazam before it megas up, it has that Magic Guard ability, I think that's what it's called, that allows it to just switch in and not take damage from hazards or Sandstorm. Now, I saved the, well, let's go into the set. We got Calm with pretty good special defense and a little bit of defense in there. I forget exactly what those were tech to, but it allows us to take hits from both sides and deal a little bit better because, like I said, most of his threats are a bit more physical. So, yeah, that's what we got this week with Klefki. And last but not least, now this is a set that I'm very proud of, and I hope it puts in some work, because when I saw the team, I'm like, this is the Roserade I have to bring this week. This one and no other. So Billy Idol this week is going to shine with that Fiery MZ Sunny Day. And if you don't know, Fiery MZ Sunny Day sets up Sun for 5 turns and gives you a +1 in speed. And with our speed investment with the Timid Nature, that allows us to outspeed all the Scarfers on his team, except for except for Landorus Therian, because it naturally outspeeds us if it was Scarfed. But if nothing on his team is Scarfed, this outspeeds everything. So we scout, then bring this in towards the end of the match. If we can get a Sunny Day set up, the only thing on his team that 1v1s this well, after we are set up, is Incineroar. But a Solar Beam with the Sun, I think, does it only does like 25%, and that is our best hit on it. Even Weather Ball in the Sun, because of the resistance, doesn't do very much. So if we can get Incineroar whittled down, this thing literally runs through the rest of his team. Even a very bulky Golbat gets 2-hit KO'd by Technician Hidden Power Ice. So that's fantastic. I really hope this set gets to shine. If I can put in some early work and whittle down some of his walls, this can just come in and sweep, because none of his attacking mons take a hit from this. So really, really looking forward for this to get some work in. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about the sets, and I will catch you on the flip side. Peace.